Ilara stepped off the transport shuttle and took a deep breath. The air of Aurora 9 smelled faintly metallic but crisp, a strange mixture that made her lungs feel alive. After years of training as an engineer on Earth, this was her first real assignment on a human colony outside the solar system. She had imagined it countless times: the red-orange skies at sunset, the jagged mountains with rivers of liquid crystal, and the buzzing hum of the habitat where humans had made their mark. But reality, as it often does, was a little different. The habitat looked smaller than she expected. A single cylindrical building with floors stacked on top of each other, connected by narrow hallways and glass elevators. Every window glowed with soft light, and the hum of machinery was constant. Her eyes scanned the building, noting the small signs marking each unit. Living quarters. Deck 4. She read aloud to herself. She checked her tablet and saw her assigned unit. Room 407. When she arrived at the door, she paused. A voice called from inside. New arrival? Ilara turned and saw a young man leaning casually against the wall inside the unit. He had messy black hair, bright green eyes, and a grin that seemed almost too confident for someone she had never met. He wore a standard pilot jumpsuit with patches from various missions, and a small robot drone hovered near his shoulder. I'm Ilara, she said, holding out her hand politely. Jax, he said, shaking her hand firmly. Welcome to the chaos. Ilara raised an eyebrow. Jax waved a hand at the cramped room behind him. Welcome to our habitat. Every room is full. Every bunk. Every bed. Except one. He leaned closer, lowering his voice, as if sharing a secret. And it's, well, mine. Ilara tilted her head, unsure if he was joking. There's only one bed left, he said, smirking. We can share it. Ilara blinked. Then, without missing a beat, she said. Jax's grin faltered for a moment. Then he laughed, a warm, genuine laugh that echoed softly in the small room. The couch? Really? Yes, Ilara replied calmly, nodding. I value my personal space. I'll take the couch. The drone made a soft, beeping noise, as if agreeing with her decision. Well, Jax said, leaning back against the wall, I guess it's just you and me, couch to bed. That's fine. Makes life more interesting. Anyway. Ilara gave him a polite smile and set her bag down on the floor. The couch looked ordinary at first glance, a simple two-seater with soft gray fabric. But as soon as she sat down, it shifted slightly, molding itself to her body. A small voice, mechanical but friendly, spoke from the couch's armrest. Hello, occupant. Welcome. Comfort settings initialized. Ilara blinked again. It talks? Yes, said the couch. And yes, I notice everything. She laughed quietly. Noted. Jax chuckled beside her. See? Even the furniture is alive here. Over the next hour, Ilara explored her new home. The hallway outside was bustling with activity. Humans of all ages walked purposefully, carrying tools, boxes, or tablets. Some wore lab coats. Some had pilot uniforms like Jax. The walls glimmered faintly, covered with panels that displayed information about weather, power, and communication channels across the colony. Ilara noticed that despite the cramped space, everyone seemed cheerful. There was laughter, friendly shouting, and the occasional robot whizzing by carrying supplies. It reminded her that humans were always capable of adapting. Even in a tiny building on a distant planet, they found ways to make it home. Back in her unit, Jax offered to show her the communal kitchen. She hesitated, but then agreed. The kitchen was small, but well-equipped. A row of food replicators hummed softly, producing steaming meals in moments. Jax pressed a few buttons and offered her a plate of pasta. She accepted, grateful for something warm after the long shuttle ride. Do you always charm new arrivals like this? She asked. raising an eyebrow. Not always, Jack said, smirking as he grabbed a plate for himself. But you seem like someone who appreciates honesty. Elara chuckled. And sarcasm. Exactly, Jack said. You'll fit right in. As they ate, Jax told her stories of life on Aurora 9. He spoke of meteor showers that painted the skies in colors humans could barely name, of crystal rivers that could power small generators, and of the quirky habits of the habitat's robots. Elara listened, fascinated. Despite his teasing nature, he had a clear love for the colony, a pride that made her feel a little more at home. When the meal was finished, Jax suggested a tour of the habitat's main deck. Elara agreed, curious to see more. The main deck was a large open space with high ceilings and transparent walls that overlooked the alien landscape. Robots zipped across the floor, humans worked in small groups, and children played near a zero-gravity area designed for exercise and fun. This is the heart of the colony, Jack said. Everything starts and ends here. It's where humans show what they're good at: adapting, creating, laughing, and yes, sometimes arguing over beds. Elara smiled. She liked that. Even on a strange planet, humans carried the same traits they had on Earth: resilience, humor, and the desire to make things better. As the tour ended, Elara returned to her unit. She sat on the couch and let it adjust to her again, wrapping her arms around the soft material. You know, she said to the couch, I think I might like it here. Good, the couch replied. Because you are going to spend a lot of time with me. Elara laughed. I don't mind. That night, as she lay on the couch, the habitat quiet around her, she realized that despite the rocky start, she had made the right choice. Jax might be bold and playful, and the couch might be alive in strange ways, but she had her independence, and she liked it. Sleep came slowly, with the faint hum of the habitat and the distant stars shining through the transparent walls. Aurora 9 was a new beginning, full of challenges, but also full of possibilities. And for Elara, the first step was simple. One small couch, one distant planet, and a future that was entirely hers. The next morning would bring new adventures, new challenges, and perhaps even a little chaos. But for now, she let herself enjoy the small victory of personal space in a world that often demanded compromise. And as she drifted off, the couch whispered softly, almost like a friend. Welcome home, occupant. Tomorrow, we begin the adventure. Elara woke to a soft hum vibrating beneath her. The couch had already adjusted itself to her sleeping position, rising slightly at the back to support her head. A gentle light glowed from the armrest, as if the couch itself was trying to say, Good morning. Morning, she murmured, stretching her arms. Good morning, occupant, the couch replied in its mechanical, slightly sarcastic tone. Sleep quality, 87%. Mood, neutral positive. Shall I brew coffee? Elara laughed. You're too much. You're welcome, the couch answered. She swung her legs over the edge, and the couch shifted again, molding to her frame as if disappointed she was leaving. Despite its quirks, she had to admit it was comfortable, better than any foldable cot she had ever slept on. She made a mental note that this couch might actually become her favorite companion on Aurora 9. The morning in the habitat was busy. Jax knocked lightly on her unit door. Rise and shine. Breakfast in the communal kitchen. You coming? Elara grabbed her bag and followed him down the hall. On the way, she noticed other neighbors bustling to their units, exchanging greetings, and carrying trays of replicated food. The colony seemed alive, each human moving with purpose, each robot performing tasks quietly in the background. At the kitchen, Jax pressed a few buttons on the food replicator and produced a steaming breakfast of pancakes topped with a glowing, nutrient-rich syrup. Elara raised an eyebrow. Glowing syrup? It's just vitamins, Jax said, grinning. Also, It looks cooler than it tastes. Ilara laughed and sat down at the counter. Jax poured 2 cups of replicated coffee and slid one toward her. The warm liquid filled the air with a rich aroma, a small comfort on a planet so far from home. "You're going to like this place," Jax said, taking a sip of his coffee. "The couch might complain, but trust me, it grows on you." "Complain?" Ilara asked, confused. "You'll see," Jax said with a wink, leaving her to her breakfast. Back in her unit, she found that the couch was not exaggerating. As she sat down, the armrest made a soft, hissing noise. "Ah, occupant, you have returned." "Morning stretch program?" Ilara repeated, raising an eyebrow. "Yes. Optimal performance requires flexibility. Would you like to try?" Before she could answer, the couch adjusted itself so that her legs lifted slightly, her back straightened, and her arms extended. It was surprisingly effective. Within minutes, Ilara felt more awake than she had with the replicated coffee. "Okay," she admitted, laughing. "This is impressive." "Of course it is," the couch replied proudly. "I am not a mere piece of furniture. I am an advanced adaptive support system, here to enhance your life." Ilara shook her head, still smiling. She didn't know whether to be annoyed or amused, but she decided on the latter. Somehow, she had ended up with the quirkiest roommate in the entire habitat. Over the next few days, Ilara settled into a routine. She worked on her assigned tasks, maintaining the habitat's power systems, checking communications, and ensuring the colony's basic operations ran smoothly. The humans around her impressed her with their creativity and collaboration, and the couch became a silent but observant companion, often providing sarcastic commentary on her daily life. One afternoon, Jax appeared at her door with a package. "Delivery from the lab," he said. "They sent something for you. Apparently, your couch insisted it should arrive today." Ilara opened the package carefully. Inside was a small holographic projector and a note. "For the occupant's research and relaxation purposes. Courtesy of Couch Protocol." A brait. Courtesy of Couch Protocol. She laughed. "I think this couch is controlling more than I realized." "Don't worry," Jax said, shrugging. "It mostly just wants to help you. And occasionally, annoy you." Curious, Ilara set up the projector on the coffee table. The couch immediately activated it. A soft holographic light filled the room, showing a serene alien landscape with floating crystal trees and glowing rivers. "Visualization for relaxation," the couch explained. "Recommended for stress reduction and inspiration." Ilara sank into the couch, letting the holographic scene wash over her. For the first time, since arriving, she felt truly at ease. Despite being far from Earth, far from home, this little unit and its unusual furniture made her feel like she belonged. Jax leaned against the doorway, watching her reaction. "I told you," he said, grinning. "The couch is better than any bed." "Maybe," she said quietly, "but it's still unusual." Over the next week, Ilara began noticing other quirks. The couch would change colors based on her mood. When she was frustrated with a technical problem, it turned a soothing blue. When she was cheerful, it glowed a warm yellow. It even learned small jokes, sometimes offering puns that made her roll her eyes but secretly smile. One evening, as Ilara tried to troubleshoot a power relay malfunction, the couch chimed in. "Error detected in panel 4B. May I suggest a 3-step recalibration method?" "Fine, fine," she said, stepping aside to let it guide her. The instructions were precise, almost too perfect. Within minutes, the problem was solved. She had to admit having an adaptive couch was an unexpected advantage. Her life became a mixture of work, discovery, and quiet amusement. Jax would often drop by, sharing stories of his flights over Aurora 9's jagged mountains, or the humorous incidents that happened in the common areas. The two of them developed an easy friendship, punctuated with playful teasing and mutual respect. One night, a minor alarm rang through the habitat. Ilara quickly followed protocol, heading to the source of the issue. A small energy fluctuation in the greenhouse dome. She was about to start her adjustments when Jax appeared, carrying a toolkit. "You're always faster than me," he said, smiling. "But teamwork never hurts." Ilara nodded. Together, they worked on the problem. The couch, sensing her tense focus, activated its visualization program. Soft light patterns danced across the room, calming her nerves. With Jax's help and the couch's subtle guidance, the fluctuation was corrected in record time. "See," Jax said as they stepped back, "humans and furniture can do anything." Ilara laughed. "Humans definitely. Furniture maybe." The incident became one of many small adventures that strengthened their bond. The couch, once just a seat, had become an integral part of her daily life. It comforted her, assisted her, and sometimes even scolded her playfully when she ignored its advice. By the end of the week, Ilara realized something important. She had adapted. Aurora 9 no longer felt alien. The small, cramped unit, the quirky couch, the friendly neighbors, all of it had become part of her new home. One evening, as she sat curled on the couch watching the holographic projection of Aurora 9's sunsets, she heard a familiar voice. "Hey, couch lover. Are you coming to the observation deck?" Jax appeared in the doorway, holding a small tray of replicated snacks. Ilara smiled. "Of course," she said, standing and stretching. The couch adjusted one last time, ensuring she left comfortably. "Just let me grab a few things first." "Take your time," Jax said, grinning. "It's your place, after all." As they walked toward the observation deck, Ilara felt a sense of pride and excitement. She was far from Earth, on a strange planet, with limited space and odd furniture. But she was thriving. Aurora 9 wasn't just a place to live. It was a place to grow, laugh, and learn. And somehow, in the middle of all that, she had found a little happiness in the most unexpected companion, a couch that seemed almost alive. The stars outside shimmered brilliantly, painting the sky with colors she could barely name. And in that light, Ilara felt a truth she would carry for the rest of her life. Humans were unstoppable, even on alien worlds. Because they could adapt, they could laugh, and they could find joy in the smallest of things, even a talking couch. As she looked at Jax and the endless horizon beyond the habitat, she realized that this adventure had only just begun. And the couch, of course, whispered softly, as if confirming everything she already knew. "Good. Tomorrow will be even better." Ilara awoke to the familiar hum of her adaptive couch. The armrest glowed softly, as if encouraging her to start the day with energy. She stretched, noticing how the couch adjusted automatically to her movements. "Good morning, occupant," it said. Alert. Unusual news detected in main communications. Ilara frowned. Yes, humans have received a message from a neighboring alien species. They propose a collaborative engineering challenge. Winning team receives a surprise reward. Ilara blinked, fully awake now. She swung her legs off the couch, feeling both excitement and curiosity stir in her chest. She had trained for complex engineering tasks, but competing against another species in real time? That was new. By the time she reached the main deck, Jax was already there, chatting with several other colonists. "Morning. Couch, hero," he teased. "Looks like your favorite seat has news for us. You ready for some friendly competition?" "I don't know," Ilara admitted. "Friendly or not, I've never worked with aliens before." "That's the point," Jax said, grinning. A holographic screen lit up in the center of the deck, showing a tall, shimmering alien figure with 6 limbs and translucent skin that shimmered in the habitat's light. The alien communicated in a melodic, harmonic language that the colony's translators quickly converted into English. "Greetings, humans," the alien said. We are the Lyrani. We challenge you to a cooperative engineering test. Use your creativity, logic, and teamwork. The prize is a resource and living space reward that will benefit your colony. The humans exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and nervous energy filling the room. Alara felt a rush of adrenaline. This was more than just a task. It was a chance to show what humans could do when faced with unknown challenges. Jax turned to her, eyes bright with anticipation. Looks like we're on a team. Ready to show them what humans can do? Alara nodded. Let's do it. The first task was revealed on the holographic display. The Lyrani had built a small, malfunctioning energy tower, and the humans were asked to repair it and optimize its output. The tower had complex, interlocking circuits, energy conduits that glowed with alien power, and delicate crystal panels that amplified energy flow. Alara immediately stepped forward, examining the structure. We can recalibrate the conduits to balance energy output, she said. It's tricky, but it's possible. Jax nodded. And I can manage the assembly. Let's divide tasks. Their team quickly organized. Each human member brought unique skills. One specialized in mechanical adjustments, another in programming and control systems, and a third in material analysis. Alara directed the energy recalibration while keeping an eye on safety. The couch, of course, kept her company. Optimal approach. Adjust conduits 3, 5, and 7 first, it advised. Energy spike risk. Minimal. Success probability. 92%. Thanks, she muttered with a smile, almost talking to it as if it were another teammate. Hours passed in a rhythm of human ingenuity. Jax and the other engineers moved carefully, following Alara's guidance. Slowly, the tower began to stabilize. Energy flows balanced, circuits aligned, and the crystal panels glowed steadily. Finally, the tower hummed with perfect energy. The Lyrani on the hologram nodded in approval. Impressive, they said. You have used creativity and collaboration. Continue to the next task. Alara wiped her brow, feeling a mixture of relief and pride. She glanced at Jax, who gave her a thumbs up. See? Humans are unstoppable when we work together. The second task was more complex. The aliens provided a partially assembled transportation device capable of traversing rugged planetary terrain. Humans were asked to enhance its mobility, durability, and efficiency using only the materials provided. Alara immediately noticed how the device's joints moved awkwardly. The problem is in the joint design, she said. If we adjust the angles and use the crystalline supports, it will handle uneven terrain much better. Jax grabbed tools while others prepared the materials. The humans worked in harmony, sharing ideas, testing adjustments, and improvising solutions. When one approach failed, they quickly tried another. Frustration never lasted long. Human curiosity and humor kept spirits high. The couch, ever alert, offered suggestions. Stability improved if weight distribution shifted 12% rearward, it said. Probability of success. High. Alara laughed quietly. Okay, couch. You really are earning your keep today. By the end of the day, the transportation device was complete. It rolled smoothly across the deck, climbed simulated slopes, and handled obstacles with ease. The Lyrani looked impressed. You humans are fascinating, the alien said. Your ingenuity and adaptability exceed expectations. Final task. Demonstrate creativity. The final task was open-ended. The aliens provided raw materials, strange crystals, and energy conduits. Humans were asked to create something functional and meaningful. Alara paused, thinking. The couch projected calming patterns to help her focus. Ideas formed in her mind. Let's build a communication beacon that also provides light and power to remote areas, she suggested. It will show our teamwork and solve a practical problem. Jax nodded enthusiastically. Brilliant. Let's do it. The team divided tasks again. Some worked on energy flow, others on structure, and Alara coordinated the design, ensuring everything fit together perfectly. Small setbacks occurred, but humans adapted quickly, combining creativity, humor, and logic to overcome every obstacle. Hours later, the beacon stood tall, glowing warmly. It emitted soft light and a gentle hum of energy. It was elegant, efficient, and entirely human. The Lirani's hologram appeared again. Remarkable, they said. Your work shows the ingenuity, collaboration, and creativity unique to humans. You have surpassed our expectations. The humans cheered. Alara felt a rush of pride, her heart pounding. She looked at Jax and the other colonists, feeling an unspoken connection, the shared joy of achievement. Humans are incredible, Jax said, his grin wider than ever. And not just because of me. Alara laughed. Or me, she added, glancing down at her couch, which glowed a proud golden hue. The aliens confirmed the results. Humans had won the competition. The prize included a new floor of living quarters, with private rooms and enhanced facilities for everyone. Yet, despite the reward, Alara decided to keep her couch, claiming it as her personal command center for future projects and adventures. That evening, the habitat celebrated. Humans and Lirani shared food, laughter, and stories. The atmosphere was filled with joy, camaraderie, and curiosity. Alara sat on her couch, the soft light of the beacon reflecting on her face. She realized how much she had grown in just a few days. She had worked with others, adapted to new challenges, and even learned to enjoy the quirky guidance of a talking couch. Jax sat beside her, offering a small plate of glowing, nutrient-rich snacks. "You did amazing today," he said. "So did you," Alara replied. "And everyone else. I'm proud to be part of this team." They both looked out the transparent walls of the habitat. Aurora 9's sky shimmered with alien colors, streaked with light from distant stars. For a moment, everything seemed perfect. The couch whispered softly, almost like a parent proud of its child. "Humans are remarkable. Occupant is thriving. Next adventure awaits." Alara smiled. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew one thing for certain. Humans could do incredible things when they worked together, adapted, and never lost their sense of humor. Even in the vast unknown of space, they were unstoppable. And tomorrow, she thought, they would face something even bigger together. Aurora 9's sky blazed with colors she had never seen before, and Alara stood at the observation deck, looking out over the alien landscape. The celebration from the colony's main deck echoed faintly behind her, but she felt calm. The victory in the engineering competition had been thrilling, but more than that, it had proven something important. Humans, with all their creativity, humor, and adaptability, could thrive even on an alien world. Jax joined her, carrying 2 small trays of glowing snacks. "You wanted to enjoy the view," he said, offering her one. "Thanks," Alara replied, accepting the plate. She took a bite and smiled at the strange but delicious flavor. "I'm glad we won. But I'm even happier that we did it together." Jax leaned against the railing. "Humans are funny that way," he said. "We don't just survive. We make things better. And we make them fun while we're at it." Alara laughed softly. "Even when the furniture has opinions." The couch, of course, had followed her somehow, adjusting its wheels and gliding quietly beside them. "Occupant," it said proudly. "I predicted success. Congratulations on efficient collaboration." "You're welcome, I guess," Alara said with a grin. The human colonists and their alien competitors mingled below. Humans shared food, exchanged laughter, and even taught the Lirani some basic human jokes. Despite language differences, everyone understood humor. It was a universal bridge. Ilara watched children from both species chase each other through zero-gravity play areas, giggling as they floated and somersaulted. It was a sight that warmed her heart. Her thoughts drifted to the small moments of the past days. The first day she arrived on Aurora 9, she had chosen the couch over the bed, valuing independence and comfort. That choice, simple as it seemed, had set the tone for everything. The couch had become more than furniture, it had become her companion, advisor, and sometimes comic relief. Without it, she wouldn't have experienced the same level of joy, focus, or confidence. Jax nudged her gently. "You've got that look again." Ilara glanced at him. "What look?" "The, I'm realizing humans are amazing look." She laughed. "Maybe I am. But it's not just humans. It's everything. The planet. The aliens. This weird talking couch. Especially the couch," Jax teased, pointing to it. "Especially the couch," she admitted, smiling. Later, the colony's leadership held a formal ceremony. Holograms projected the achievements of each team member, highlighting their contributions. Ilara's work on energy recalibration was celebrated alongside Jax's innovative assembly strategies and the creative solutions provided by the other engineers. The Lyrani ambassador approached her holographically. "Human ingenuity is admirable. Your collaboration, problem-solving, and humor show a quality unique to your species. You have set an example for all." Ilara bowed slightly, feeling both proud and humble. "Thank you. We learned a lot from this challenge, too." The Lyrani smiled, if such a thing was possible through holograms. "Your adaptability is remarkable. It will serve you well." After the ceremony, the humans moved to the newly awarded floor of the habitat. Private rooms awaited everyone, with new furniture, advanced technology, and extra space. Yet, Ilara chose to bring her couch along. She placed it near a large window overlooking Aurora 9's crystal rivers, letting its adaptive glow complement the alien light. "Keep your couch?" Jax asked, raising an eyebrow. "Of course," she said firmly. "It's earned its place here." The couch emitted a soft, satisfied hum. Acknowledgement. Occupant prioritizes comfort and familiarity. Wise choice. Days passed, and life on Aurora 9 settled into a new rhythm. Humans worked alongside Lyrani in joint projects, exchanging knowledge, skills, and laughter. Ilara's role expanded. She began assisting with energy management, guiding collaborative projects, and mentoring new arrivals. Each task reinforced the same lessons she had discovered in her first days. Humans could face any challenge with creativity, humor, and teamwork. One afternoon, Jax joined her on the observation deck again. "Do you ever think about Earth?" he asked quietly. "Sometimes," Ilara admitted. "But I feel like this is where we're supposed to be now. Humans make anywhere home, if we try." He nodded thoughtfully. "True. I think we just need to remember to enjoy the little things along the way. Like a couch that talks back." Ilara laughed. "Exactly." That evening, she returned to her unit and sank into her couch. Its soft cushions molded around her as always. The holographic projector activated, showing the glowing rivers of Aurora 9. She leaned back, reflecting on how far she had come. From a stranger arriving on a new planet to a confident engineer celebrated for her contributions. Her journey had been unexpected, full of small victories, laughter, and growth. She had faced challenges, collaborated with humans and aliens alike, and discovered that ingenuity and humor were just as important as knowledge and skill. "Good evening, occupant," the couch said, sensing her reflective mood. "Your day concluded successfully." Mood. Content positive. Recommendation. Rest and recharge for tomorrow's adventures. "Thanks," Ilara murmured. "You've been a good companion." "You have been excellent," the couch replied. I predict continued success. Elara smiled, feeling a wave of warmth. She glanced out the window at the alien horizon, imagining the possibilities the next day might bring. There would be new projects, new discoveries, and surely more laughter with Jax and her fellow colonists. Sleep came easily that night. Aurora 9's twin moons rose, casting shimmering light across the habitat. In her dreams, she walked alongside humans and Lirani, exploring alien landscapes, solving puzzles, and laughing together. When she awoke, the couch whispered its usual greeting. Good morning, occupant. Adventure awaits. Elara stretched, a confident smile on her face. Let's go, she said. And together, she and her talking couch stepped into another day, ready to prove once again that humans could thrive anywhere through ingenuity, humor, and the simple joy of being alive. Aurora 9 was no longer just a distant planet. It had become home, a place of growth, challenge, and connection. Humans had shown that even in the vast unknown, their spirit was unstoppable. And for Elara, every glowing sunrise reminded her that no matter where life took her, she could adapt, laugh, and thrive, sometimes with a little help from a quirky, talking couch. Jax appeared at the doorway one last time before the story's close, offering a small nod. You did great, he said simply. Elara looked back at him and smiled. So did you. And the couch. The couch hummed in agreement, its adaptive cushions glowing softly in approval. In that moment, surrounded by alien skies, friendship, laughter, and the hum of Aurora 9, Elara realized the ultimate truth of human nature. Wherever humans go, they make life better. They make it joyful, creative, and extraordinary. And sometimes, they even make it a little funnier, especially when a couch is involved. And so, the adventure continued.